There's a fascinating new culture war going around on the internet right now, and some people say it's about banning pornography. Although I kind of dismiss this. This is kind of like the PR version of it in order to try to sell it to the masses. What it is deciding how the internet should be censored moving forward. You see, up until now, the way the internet was censored was using fact checkers and having social media acting like a cartel. Basically, the terms of service on one platform were similar to the others, and most of the time, if a problematic individual got banned from one place, then all the other social medias would ban him as well. Alex Jones was the first one to experience this, but most people that have lived through the 2018-2020 era know that when someone would get banned from Twitch, for instance, immediately their YouTube channel and their Twitter and Facebook would get suspended as well. That system is not working anymore. Ever since Elon Musk bought Twitter and he refused to comply with this system, ever since Trump won the elections, it seems that the Republicans were supporting free speech. And so the fact checker system is just gone. No longer exists. And so there is a need for censorship. Like there is a craving demand. It's a very profitable multi-billion-dollar industry. Politicians are dependent on censorship, especially the environmentalist politicians, the woke politicians. They need to have control of the narrative. And so they needed a new way in order to impose this. And the way that they came up with is digital ID. The reason digital ID is more powerful than having an IP is due to the fact that if your digital ID gets flagged, you would not be able to make any other social media account anywhere. It also forces the social media websites to have backdoors to government organizations and to force them to remove content that the government doesn't like. A perfect example of this is Australia, which has demanded Twitter removes the Irina video under the E-Safety Commissioner Act. Now, it's important to understand that this act was done in order to protect minors from seeing pornography on the internet. At least that's how it was sold and advertised to the public. But in reality, it seems to be used to crack down on messages that could sway the public voter. You may have a person that believes people that are criminals are doing so because of socioeconomic factors and no other reason, and they're a left-leaning person, but after seeing the video of Irina's assassination, they may change their political leaning. And so the government is afraid of that, and they don't want that to happen. So they use the law that's supposed to protect minors from watching titties on the internet, and they crack down on that particular video. And you can also see the same happening in the United Kingdom. The E-Safety Act was actually used to crack down on conversations that were tied to immigration policy. So in the United Kingdom, 16 years olds are supposed to be able to vote soon if the law passes. And yes, like they want their 16-year-olds to be able to vote. But the 16-year-old should not be able to see a titty on the internet. And more importantly, they should not be able to see any conversation about illegal migration happening in Britain under the exact same package of rules. And so it is wild to me when I see left-wing people supporting this, especially like people who recently got fired.
Hello everyone, my name is Kongmin Lee, and I was just fired from my job for my conservative beliefs. This wasn't about my job performance or my relationships with colleagues. It happened because of the things I've said online and the political and religious views I've shared.
You have this gentleman, I don't really follow his channel, but he did appear into my timeline. His name is Kongmin Lee. I understand he hails from South Korea, and he's a Christian. And the first video that he made was that he got fired from his job because of his views. And I even shared that video because I find it absolutely abhorrent. The main reason that I started my channel was to actually fight against censorship. And I don't like it when it happens to people. And so I said, look, this is unfortunate. If you guys know him, go subscribe to him. Only to see him a couple of weeks later going like, oh, ban pornography, ban, oh, we need to ban this, ban, regulate, ban, censorship, yes. And it's a little bit bizarre, you know? Like, I'm looking at this and like, what the fuck am I seeing? Like you have a right winger that for the last decade has been persecuted for their belief, and now all of a sudden, like he can't sleep at night because the internet that was the same for the last 3 decades when it comes to pornography will apparently continue to be the same. And by the way, I'm not like a 100% pro porn guy. I just want to make sure people understand my position before we're moving forward. I don't think that people should be able to see titties if they don't want to. So if you go on Steam and, the first thing that you see are titties, I think that's unacceptable. And so the way that the modern internet has managed to control things by making sure that the search engines have like a not safe for work filter, that when you go on Steam, you have to go out of your way to find the naughty games, and that when you go on Twitter, things that are porn, like you have to click a button to see it, right? I think that's acceptable. It's not how it used to be in 2018, where like porn was literally everywhere. Like if you search for Mercy, an Overwatch character, you'd see titties on your search engine, right? We don't live in that era anymore. I actually like the current system. But at the same time, to start a new crusade that would empower governments and they would push their digital ID on people is mind-boggling to me. Especially when you look at the United Kingdom right now is using every single argument they can. Every single justification, every single trick under the book in order to push for digital ID. And the United Kingdom is one of the most far-left governments of my lifetime that is in a nation associated with Europe. And then you have right-wingers going, yes, no, like Keir Starmer did nothing wrong. Like, what am I seeing? Like, at this point, like, can I assume that these people are astroturfing, that they're sent to subvert us? That they're, just here in order to cause dissent? Because, again, the internet was the same for the last 3 decades, okay? Like, there's no new thing that happened recently. There's no, like, moral crisis that justifies any of this. And it's also, like, the people that are part of the right-wing movement that are here for the arts, for creativity. They're sick and tired because all of their shows, all of their movies, all of their commercials are filled with woke slop. That everything they try to do is filled with wokeness. And these people aren't necessarily religious, right? Like, they're just voting right-wing because they want their hobbies back. And I gotta teach you, there's like hundreds of millions of these people. Because the average voter is not ideologically possessed. The average voter didn't read the Bible and Jesus said vote Republican. The average voter just has like minor issues, whether it's about taxation, whether it's about him trying to relax and being unable to because the woke is pushing random nonsense. And so they're like, okay, like I used to be a liberal, or I was a non-issue voter, I was an independent, and now I'm going to vote right-wing because the left is pissing me off. And they do that, and the first thing that the right-wingers do is to piss on him for no reason whatsoever. Just because he doesn't appreciate the book. Just because he doesn't live by the same values like the book. And at the same time, like, he's not trying to convince the people that read the book to change their mind or to change their lifestyle. It's like, no, he just wants a continuity of the same lifestyle that he's used to. Now, here's the interesting part, okay? Like, ban the porn thing. There are right-wingers that, unironically, they want to ban the porn. And they use the Moat and Bailey tactic. They get really upset when you ask them for definitions. Like, if you ask them, well, can you define pornography? Everyone knows. Why do you want me to define it? I want you to define it because I saw what Melanie Mac did. And I want you to define it because I saw what other content creators did. They basically start off with, trying to make people believe that they're only talking about hardcore pornography. They're only talking about Pornhub or whatever, right? But then you realize that, no, like, they want more than that. It's not just that they want OnlyFans or Pornhub to go away. No, they want video games, anime, comic books, manga, like literally everything that has any type of fan service, like anything that could titillate, they want that removed from the entire world. It's not like even the place they live in, it's not their community or their family. No, like they think that the internet, the World Wide Web, should be sanitized. Like whether you're in Germany, whether you're in France, whether you're in Japan, whether you're like any place on earth, you should not have access to this type of content. And they want the government to be able to make strict rules to crack down financially on these companies. Like the reason they enjoy the age verification rules and they're trying to lie and mislead people to claim that, well, Pornhub wants your kids is because they understand that no person wants to jerk off and show their ID while doing it, right? They don't want to. I don't want to. No one wants to. And so like Pornhub is making the smart move by simply region blocking that state and knowing that the people in that state are going to use VPNs anyway. And so they're saving money because these age verification networks, these third-party businesses that no one knows and everyone has to trust now, they have massive data leaks and they're also extremely expensive. And so like it makes no business sense to work with them when you know that people are still not going to use them anyway, and the ones that do are going to be a PR nightmare for you when the data leak happens. And it's also not Pornhub, right? Like it's Discord, it's Reddit, it's Twitter, it's the entire internet. They want everyone on the internet to be treated like we were treated during the pandemic, where if you're a healthy person, you need to mask up. And so the entire internet, if you're an adult, you need to dox yourself. How does this make any sense? Why would they want something like this? It doesn't make, like, how bad are these websites that we lived with for the last couple of decades that it justifies now these extreme measures? Like, if you're generally concerned about kids, why not even suggest for parental controls? If you're like literally that upset about, oh, like some parents don't know how to parent their kids, why don't you make a law and force kids to have dumb phones? Like, okay, make it illegal for children to have smartphones. Treat it the same like finding them with a gun. If you find a child with a smartphone, arrest him, interrogate him where he got it from, and make the person that sold it to them liable. Right? Like, here you go. A very, extreme law, which in my opinion is just as extreme as forcing every single person to use digital ID to access the internet. And it would actually solve the problem, right? Like, there you go. No more kids have access to smartphones. But the reality is that's really not about, right? Like, they don't care about kids not seeing online porn. They don't want any adult part of the human race to see it. In fact, I'm pretty sure if they find aliens on the moon, they would forbid it from them as well. And so the only result from this that I can see is, like, number one, the governments will actually impose the digital ID system. And the consequences are going to be a new atheist movement. Not now, but in 5 years if they're getting successful. Because if you're going to use your book in order to justify changing the lifestyle of other people, those other people that will find you to be cringe, irrational, and they also don't believe in the supernatural, their only solution to make sure that you leave them alone is to attack your book. So this is what happened during the Obama era. Like, the people from the George Bush mentality that were considering heavy metal to be satanic, video games to cause violence, movies to be problematic, anime to encourage children to commit crimes, and so on and so forth, eventually ended up with a generation that just attacked the book. It's like, who is causing my mother to be like this? Who is causing my aunt to think like this? The book. Okay, well, we're going to become atheists now and fully attack the book. And I guess, like, history is just going to have to repeat itself, unfortunately. I really hate this thing. I hate this thing because it convinces people to become leftists. And leftist people increase my taxes. These right-wingers that have joined, like, this bizarre crusade that, like, 5 years ago, no one was even talking about it, are just manufacturing leftists on an assembly line. And it blows my mind. I was like, why are they doing it? They've been censored for the last decade or so. Like, what is the purpose of when you finally manage to win to do this? Like, there used to be, and I think like there actually still is a saying, cutting your nose to spite your face, which is an idiom for taking an irrational self-destructive action to get revenge on someone else, which ultimately harms you more than the other person. You're not going to ban porn on the internet. The reason you're not going to do it is because we already have offline AI. Like, you can install Stable Diffusion on a laptop that's offline, and you can generate any type of pornography you want with any fictional character, with any real character, any kink, any fetish, anything you want, and it's on demand. Like, you just type it, and it appears on your screen. Within like 30 seconds, it just generates art. And you're like banning the internet. and banning anonymity. Like, are you fucking insane? Like, if the technology exists to replicate even better than what's already on the internet, and by the way, like, porn websites were already suffering because of the AI. Like, you can literally have a chatbot that's going to pretend it's Uzaki-chan or, you know, whatever waifu you want, and you can actually talk to your waifu and you can have hot steaming sex, and your issue is like, oh yes, well, Pornhub. It's like, who fucking cares about Pornhub? You know, and even if you care about that company, let's say Pornhub goes away. Do you know why Pornhub exists? It's because, like, you had, like, thousands of smaller websites that went out of a business when Pornhub was created. If Pornhub actually ends up going bankrupt, all those thousands of little websites get to pop up again. I don't understand. Do they not understand that this is part of human nature? It's like a vice, you know? It's like trying to get rid of smoking. Like, if people find your laws irrational and they don't agree with them, and everyone outside the book doesn't agree with this, you're going to have, like, a lot of individuals that are going to find ways around it. And it's like, what? Okay, so now you want the government to arrest people for watching two adults fuck? But again, like, it's not even about the porn. Like, I'm just trying to be on their wavelength and trying to understand their arguments, which are retarded in and of itself. The problem is internet anonymity, government censorship, and seeing right-wingers who have been oppressed for more than a decade justifying, glorifying, promoting the same system of abuse that is obviously going to be used against all of us, not just them. Like, I am pretty sure that if the Digital ID Act keeps expanding, and if you have, like, Australia and European Union and the United Kingdom and all of these countries starting to police the internet, you're going to have the Jack Dorsey era all over again. I don't know why. Like, why do we want the Jack Dorsey era? Was it that good? You're not going to be in charge. Even if, like, the Americans are in charge of America, you still have the European Union, you still have the UK, you still have Australia. Like, right now, America should have been fighting against this shit. And the Trump administration already started fighting against this shit. The idea that's like, no, actually, this is a good thing. Maybe someone can explain it to me. I'll post some of the arguments on my other channel, because, like, I want to make another video over there. And I can show some of the conversation and the arguments used by these people to justify censoring the internet and pretending that it's about pornography, and they're acting like leftists when you try to debate them. And a leftist pretends like they don't get context, they don't understand nuance, they don't get anything, and they keep asking you questions, like literally the exact same tactics. And, you know, it's so weird. It's so weird. Like again, these conversations didn't used to exist 5 years ago. I am definitely thinking that this is astroturfed. Like, I refuse to believe that this is a genuine grassroots type of movement when people just find the internet suffocating because there's websites with naughty content on it. Like, if these were individuals that just logged on the internet last year, okay, fine, maybe I could understand it. But they've been using the internet far longer than me. So there's absolutely no justification for this. Let me know what you guys think. And as usual, I will see you in the comment section. Take care.